a million, 37, 38.
Yeah.
I think I was like, oh shit, I made $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, like it was, it's been hard for me to hang on to money.
Yeah.
I love investing money. So I invest a lot of money. I invested. We spend, to this day, we spend hundreds of millions of dollars on believing in an artist, and we've lost that money. And we feel that we probably gained it.
So you invested a lot of money back into your company.
Yeah, we still do to this day. I mean, I look at the bills every day and I'm like, shit, like it keeps getting bigger and bigger, you know, but
your revenue keeps going bigger and bigger too.
Yeah, revenue keeps growing as well. But I mean, look, if you don't bet on yourself, then, you know, then what the hell are you doing?
Have you always been a big risk taker?
Yeah. I don't think about it. If I want it, I'm gonna do it.
Hey guys, welcome back to Driven Channel, and I'm here very excited with a special guest. We have a connection, Mexicanos los dos. People were telling me like, Albert, like you should get with Jimmy, you should connect with Jimmy. And I know I told Wires Only RD, I'm like, hey, cause he's my friend. And I tell him, hey, what? He's like, Jimmy, you have to meet Jimmy.
Yeah.
So I've been, and then everybody was telling me like, it's almost like people were flowing energy to get us together, right? Because everybody, like all my company, they're all big fans of you. Really? So I want to start off with Jimmy. First of all, thank you for being part of this. We're gonna give a lot of good information to people. I want to know Jimmy, like humilde. You talk a lot about humilde too, like because you're a very nice like humilde person. I don't know if you consider yourself humilde, but you help a lot of people though. You treat everybody the same way, whether they have a big name or a smaller name or position in their company. You're very nice to people, very giving. Yeah. And I can relate a lot to that. And I know that you started your company Rancho Humilde blew up, and you have the top artists right now that you help. Mm-hmm. So can you tell a little bit about like who is Jimmy Humilde? Where did you start from, and your company, how it
Of course, man. Primero, pues gracias, bro. Igual, I've seen so much of the stuff you do. I've been following you for a while. I sent you a message back in like 2018, I think it was. If you check your Instagram, there's a
crazy.
message.
I haven't. That's crazy.
Check it out. I sent you a message a long time ago, and I was looking at what you were doing and stuff like that, and I was like, man, that's dope. Like to see my own people, you know. I consider you my own raza, and to see you achieving and accomplishing thing and working hard, because I see it, you know. You can relate to people, you know. It's kind of like
100%.
You know, I kind of feel that God works in mysterious ways, you know. It has perfect timing for everything. Yeah. You know, and I've been wanting to meet you for a long time, and finally got a chance to meet you as well. And Jimmy Humilde, man. I mean, it's a kid with immigrant parents que vienen desde Jacona, Michoacán, Mexico. They came here with 6 brothers of mine, 3 girls and 3 boys. And I was born here. Gracias a Dios, alcancé a nacer aquí. Yeah. So I'm the 7th child, which the number 7 and 21 comes into my life a lot. Yeah. You know, a lot of people, I haven't really talked about it as much, pero 721 to me is big, but I'm the 7th child. I have a younger sister, so there's 8 of us in the family. I come from a very humble family. Mi papá, he was a baker. Mm-hmm. You know, my dad passed away in 2011. My mom been a house mom all her life to this day. Yeah. She's my queen, you know. Just bought her a new house. So shout out to my mama sporting a new house, you know. That's
awesome.
And we came from a very humble family, man. I lived in a 1-bedroom house where we all lived at. I slept in a couch till I was like 20 years old. You know, to this day I still do. Yeah. Let me reconfirm that. You know, I prefer a couch than a bed. You know,
why is that?
Plus, I imagine I didn't meet a bed. I mean, when I turned I slept with my mom, I don't know till how old, maybe 6, 7 years old. And then I jumped to the couch, you know, and I was in the couch ever since. And right now I sit on a couch, man, and it's my bed. Yeah. You could put me in the best bed in the world, which so many friends has tried to sell me a bed, you know, like friends in the furniture industry, like, oh, you got to get this bed, get the bed. And I'm like, bro, give me that couch, you know? And I still do to this day, man. I always make sure the hotel I stay at has a couch. Believe it or not, I sleep in the couch probably 90% of the time that I'm out touring or in business or whatever. Even at home, that's my biggest problem, bro. You have no idea. Like, me and the couch are best friends, and I just love it. I did it for so many years. I got used to it. And to this day, I think that humbled me a lot. Honestly, a lot of people, you know, I got to meet a lot of friends growing up that had their bed, and my kids now have their bed, and you know, it's like they know that I lived and slept in a couch and for many years, and I make sure they know that, you know, and where we come from and who we belong. And like I said, I come from very humble family, very humble beginnings, not wealthy or not good at all in Mexico family. You know, I can say that I'm probably the first in our family that has probably made it out further than everybody else has. You know, and it feels good. It's a lot of work.
Right? Jimmy, before we get into your success of today, I know that you don't have a desk here, so you don't have a desk. You talk about the couches, and it's very similar because like it seems like you don't like to rest. You don't like to sit down because you're always moving around. And I can relate to the hard work because I tell people I'm working 18 hours a day. Like, I'm on my phone when I wake up till I go to sleep. And that's the example I want to be for my kids. I want my girls to see, like, my dad's a hard worker, not my dad's somebody struggling financially right now. You're always moving around. Like when you got here, you were on the phone. Before we started this, you're on the phone. I know you're closing deals. So you don't have a desk. You sleep in couches. Can you explain, like, where that hard work where that comes from?
Well, were
you always like that since a kid?
Yeah, I've been like that since I was a kid, man. My dad would always tell me, "Ya siéntate, cabrón." You know, it's like I was always active. Thank God, man. I'm so active. I've always done something since I was a kid that I've always done something that I like to do myself, that I enjoy doing. I don't look at anybody else's career. I don't dismire. I don't know if that's the word. Anybody else's life or career. I appreciate everyone and that I meet. I try to learn from them. But I don't have a desk. I hate it. Right. I don't know what's the reason somebody sits behind a desk. I really don't know. No le hallé chiste. Decimos no, right? To me, it was like, okay, a desk, that doesn't make me who I am. Right. Or it's not going to make me work harder than what I do. So to me, I sit in my couch and I put my legs up, or I sit in a chair, and the pool table. I always say pool table because we used to have a pool table in there and I took it out. But at the poker table, and I sit there and I work away from there, bro. And it's, you know, I do what I have to do. I'm talking to the studio, the producers, engineers, artists, companies, record labels, whoever it is that I got to do business with. And I don't believe in the desk. Much as now I don't believe in a bed to rest. I don't believe in a desk to work. You know, I think God puts us here, and we all have each one of our job duties, or tenemos nuestro destino, right? We're all here to do something, our own purpose, and I was blessed with the love for music, and I don't get up any day to go to work just like you do, I'm sure. People say it's work, and I guess that's the word, but this is my life. This is my love. This is what I love to do. I enjoy it. I don't work harder than anyone else. I just do what I got to do, you know? And
what do you think keeps you that driven to like just every day show up and put out a lot of output, like a lot of work? Like, or do you think is it because you remember when you started and you never want to go back to that point, or is it just something that you get used to, or you enjoy doing so much work?
You know, that's cool you asked that question, man, because I kind of never felt, I still feel that I'm in the beginning of it.
Yeah.
You know, I still feel that I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like I told you earlier with the, you know, with the plaques, you know, I have hundreds of platinum plaques and gold and silver plaques and diamonds. And to me, it's not about putting it up to make me feel achieved or make me feel that I've done something in life, right? To many other people, maybe it does, which is great. You know, they need a certificate or they need a plaque to feel they achieved something, which is the same love and respect I have for everyone else. And I feel every day that I get up and I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't feel I've done anything different.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, I think I'm the same dude. I think I work the same. I don't think I work any different. I just probably in a different scale of business now, right? But the same thing that it was when I started. So
we were with your friend upstairs, or in the other side of your office, and when you started with him, and when you started with him, you didn't have a lot of money, right? You were just you were at zero.
Nah, man, I was at zero, man.
That was 21 years ago.
Over 20 years ago, yeah.
So let's say like 20 years ago, when you didn't have any money, versus today, what would you say are like 2 things that you have changed in the way you operate? Like I
don't have to buy Hot Wheels no more, bro. I buy my own cars now, you know? Like I think that's one of the things, man. I mean, I'm a car guy.
But were you working as hard back then than today? Do you work smarter now than harder? Or what
I think I've always worked the same.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't see myself doing anything more or less than 20 years ago. I think I get up with the same energy every day. I think a lot. I think that's one of my faults, that I think a lot. I worry a lot, right? I worry about what if I don't do this? Or what if I did this and that happens? Or betrayal comes a lot in business, as you might know.
Yeah.
Betrayal comes a lot. So I've been betrayed, bro. And it already became it became a part of me already. You know,
let's touch that aspect up, because it, like in my businesses, that has happened a lot.
Of course,
I wouldn't say a lot, but it's happened plenty of times when people, they think they could be like me, and they think they could be better than me, and then they'll do unethical things. They won't exit the right way, and then I find out that they're doing things behind my back, and then they go and they do their own thing, right? Some of them I fire, some of them leave, but not the right way, and so. I would say betrayal, and then they go do it, but then quickly they find out that it's not that easy without without like a Jimmy flowing them power and helping them, and then they end up burning their bridges. And then when somebody asks about X person that didn't do the right things, then they're kind of burned.
Yeah.
And then what they don't realize is I don't know how big operations is you would say it's a huge part of your success, but like me, I'm very good at the vision, but I suck at operations. But my wife, she's the best operator ever. See, she operates the 4 businesses, all of them by herself, and with the help of the team, the systems, the processes. But people, they go and they try to do it, and boom, like that, they find out it's not as easy.
I feel that. Look, again, this is where it comes that we do it from the heart.
Yeah,
you know, it's you got to rip the heart out of my soul or my chest and pretty much try to be who I am that way. Because you're not going to be able to beat me mentally or physically. You can kick my ass a million times physically or mentally, but you're still not going to be me regardless, or we can't be anybody else. Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people in the business, as they see a business growing, and maybe they're not growing with the business.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they feel that, oh, you know what? That's mine. It should have been me. Well, I never seen it like that. I've worked with several businesses. I've worked with several partners, with several lawyers, and they do change. You know, they feel as them, right? And I respect it. Like, I'm like, yo, like, you can grow. And yeah, I've watched them grow, but I've also watched them fall.
Yeah.
You know, and And I see and I go, okay, there they go. And I see them, they go rise. And they get to a point where they're like, shit, where do I go now?
Yeah.
And that's where the road gets tough. And that's one thing that I try to teach a lot of people. Always build yourself. If you don't build yourself, then somebody can stop you.
Yeah.
But if you build yourself and with love and integrity, y con ganas and with faith, ain't nobody gonna stop you because you got God with you. I mean, I'm a huge believer in God.
Yeah.
I put God first before anything. So you gotta be God before you be me. And that's the way I just leave it, you know? And if you leave my site and try to be better, I wish you the best. Mm-hmm. I don't wish anyone nothing bad. I like you said earlier, I treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
From the janitor to the biggest promoter, producer, director that I might have on my label.
Yeah.
I'm the janitor.
Yeah.
Right? I'm the producer. I'm the director. I'm the label. So if you say, hey, I've had employees that come in here and say, oh, well, I'm so-and-so and I'm better than so-and-so. And I go, look, you don't say it. Let people be the judge of that. Right. And I try to teach all my family here at the company. And I tell them, I go, look, you don't say never you're better than anyone else. Because my dad taught me that, you know, like yo le decía a mi papá, no, yo soy mejor que él. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You prove yourself, then the world is going to see that.
Yeah.
And if you do what you say you did, you can do, then it's going to happen.
Yeah. My dad always told me, demuestra con hechos.
No, sí, a huevo. You know, we learn from our parents, right? We remember those dichos. We remember those ways that our parents taught us to be who we are today, right? And I take that every day. There wasn't a day that I wouldn't speak to my dad outside of the house in the mornings, drinking our coffee. You know, for the last 15 years of his life, I was blessed to be with him every day. You know, I lived with him. I never left her sight. To this day, my mom lives close to me now.
Yeah.
Literally my neighbor, you know, but we go with that. And I try to teach my employees, my family, my whoever is around me, like, yo, you're going to teach yourself what you want to learn. I could tell you a million things. I can show you how I go do things. That doesn't mean you're going to do it the same. That doesn't mean you're going to accomplish what I accomplished. You might get somewhere when you feel you don't need someone anymore. But we all need someone.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. I still work with the same people that when we started. I have my 2 business partners, the same ones, right? I have the same people. I can't say I had the same lawyer because I just switched my lawyer, but I had my lawyer for a very long time. You know, I'm very faithful to when it comes down.
Why did you switch the lawyer?
He had different things going on and I had different things going on and we both parted our ways. But, you know, very appreciative for everything they taught me and everything that we've done together. But, you know, life goes on, right? Mm-hmm. You got to move on forward. I have nothing bad to say about anybody. But sometimes you got to do different things in life. It switches on itself. Like I said, it wasn't my choice to do that.
Yeah.
Right? It just happened. Mm-hmm. I didn't plan one day and say, oh, I'm going to switch my lawyer. It came to the point where I had to switch my lawyer. Right?
Yeah.
And even in business in that way, there's producers I worked with for many years that I don't work with no more. There's artists I worked with for many years that I don't work with no more. There's friends that I had for many years that are not close to me no more. Not because I want to, it's because, you know, we have differences.
Yeah.
I've seen artists leave my company and thinking that they're going to be better than what they were when they left my company. And it didn't happen. You know, they became an artist who they were before they entered my company.
Because you're the best at what you do, agree? Do you feel like you're the best at what you do?
I feel I'm the best at what I do to myself.
Yeah.
To myself. I don't think I'm better than anybody.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm more better than anybody. I just feel that I give my heart.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell you, in order for someone to be better than me at what I do, to prove to me, they got to take my heart.
Yeah.
And you got to get up every day.
Well, I think you're the best at what you do.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Like I don't see how sometimes people, they think it's going to be greener on the other side and they make mistakes. Like let's now, what is your process of making a decision when somebody leaves you? Are they able to come back to you Can they come back to you once they leave you, or is if they left in a good way or in a bad way, is that the deciding factor how they left?
I have a dicho, bro, and I always say it. Yo no estoy peleado con el negocio.
Yeah.
Right. I don't argue with money. Right. I can't fight it. If it's meant to be, it's gonna come. Now, there's been artists that has left my label and come back. Yeah. And again, become very successful.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, hey, I'm the part of your success. I just think we build a good team together.
Yeah.
I think we build a good team, and sometimes teams feel, and it happens a lot to even like, professional players in sports. They leave a partner and they think they're going to be better somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen that way, because sometimes it takes two to make the things go right. I believe I have two great partners. I feel that if one of them leaves, I don't think I could give the same energy I've given before. I've seen artists that has left my company, like I mentioned earlier, and I seen them be unsuccessful, and that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts, bro. I don't smile at it. I don't say, yeah, because I say, fuck, like we were doing so good.
Yeah.
And I feel we could have done better.
Yeah.
Right. And some people don't know how to work in teamwork.
Yeah. So those people that leave and it hurts, because it's happening to me too. I have people that have left and it hurts to see how they're struggling. But like, let's say if these people left unethically, would you take them back? Would you forgive them and take them back, even if they did some things that were not the right?
Yeah, of course, man. Look, I'm no one to judge anybody. Yeah. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
We're human.
Yeah.
Right? We might make a mental, physical, or just a business mistake.
Yeah.
Right? To me, yeah, of course. If like I said, yo no estoy peleado con el negocio. Now, if it's gonna make sense, of course. Now, I do have artists that come to me that left my company and say, hey, what can you teach me what to do? And I'm like, look, if you didn't learn when you were with me what to do, then you have a problem, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because I think I teach everyone. Just hanging out with me, you're going to learn.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I say that is because I've learned from everybody that comes around me. I've learned something.
Yeah.
Either if it was a good habit or a bad habit, but I learned something. I take something from everyone, right? I'm going to meet you today. I'm sure I'm going to learn something from you, right? Whoever I try to meet on a daily or whenever I meet, it's my goal and purpose is that everything happens for a reason,
yeah.
Right? We all meet for some reason. It's not just, oh, hey, we're going to meet because we're going to meet. No. I think we were destined to meet. So why not? If it's to do business again,
yeah,
then let's do it.
And let's say these people, if maybe they're embarrassed to reach out to you again, and hey, you know what, it didn't go as I planned. I want to join back. Do these people reach out back to you, or would you go out of your way and reach out to them and be like, hey, I see you're hurting. You want to come back?
I've done both.
Yeah,
I've done both. Yeah, I have a not an artist, but an employee that left my company, and I was like, dude, you were such a fucking good asset to the company, right? And I seen them struggling, and I said, you know what? You need to come back. And I was like, why didn't you call me for these last 2 years? Oh, because I felt you were mad at me. How long have you known me? Do you know I don't stay mad at people, bro? I'm a good-hearted person. Like, yeah, but I was embarrassed to call you.
Yeah.
I said, dude, the only time I think someone should be embarrassed is when they owe money and they don't pay it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you should be embarrassed about. But other than that, man, you make a human mistake. You left on a term. Now, I reached out and I said, you need to come back. I need you and you need me. So let's get to work, right? And exactly that happened.
Yeah.
Where we got back to work and it was like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And now I get to see them blessed with their family, support their family, not be struggling with any bills and stuff. And to me, that's dope. To me, that's badass because I don't want to see a good person struggle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see a good person struggle. I'd rather see a good person do good.
Yeah.
And if it's with me, even better.
Yeah. So let's talk about your company, how much it's grown. Rancho Humilde.
Yep.
Right. You have like how many artists more or less do you have now? How much has it grown? What's your goals for the company here moving forward?
Oh man, my company has grown so much.
Yeah.
Since when we started. We started with one artist, and now we're like we vary from 80 to 95 artists all the time. We give a lot of artists an opportunity, and they also give us an opportunity to work with them, right?
Yeah.
We sign a lot of different artists. We help we do joint ventures with a lot of different artists, and we put out a lot of music. We're probably the only record label in the world that puts out so much music every day. We put out music every single day. And independent, there's no one greater than us in developing music or even releasing music. Our company has grown a lot. We have been the number one company in the world for independent label.
Yeah.
And Latino, we feel we're one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Right? There is a couple other companies out there that we say we compete with, but we got it.
Yeah.
You know, and where it's going, I want to build the first multi-billion-dollar company in Latino business. Period. That's my goal.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I say multi because we might be at the one.
Oh yeah.
You know, but when I say multi, I want it to be a very successful empire.
Yeah.
Right. That whoever comes on board or partners up with us.
And this is your core main and only business, or do you have other things that you do as well?
I'm into real estate.
Yeah.
I love real estate. I try to get a little bit into everything.
Yeah.
You know, we own a couple of restaurants. We're opening up a nightclub. We're opening up a lounge in downtown LA with a good friend, Misael Guerrero, which owns all the...
Yeah, I met him.
The Culichi towns and everything, yeah. We just partnered up with him in a speakeasy bar in downtown LA. It's called Shh. That's the name of it. We just partnered up on that.
Invite me to the nightclub. I haven't been to a nightclub in a while.
Oh yeah, we gotta go. Man, look, me at a nightclub is working.
Yeah.
So if you want to come work, man, come through, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I can't go to a nightclub and party, bro.
Yeah.
I'm there to, if I go to a nightclub and you know, I tell everyone, I go, what am I gonna do at a nightclub? You know, it's like pop the bottles and all that. I'm trying to sell you the bottles, bro. You know,
right?
I go back to my promoter. You know, my promoter mode comes in quick. You know, I'm trying to see how many bottles I can sell you. Trying to see how many people I can get in the door, and it's not even my club, and I'm there worried about that.
Yeah,
and I start doing math right away. Like, oh, he has that right there. Okay, he's at $100,000 bar already. You know, or he's at a $20,000 bar already. Like, I'm pretty good at numbers, at looking at what goes on in a nightclub, what is generated.
Where does this sales mindset come from? Because you're obviously very, very good at sales, and you're always trying to sell things. Like so we were talking before we started about the flyer parties.
Yeah.
Because I had this idea one time, and my uncle had a house in Diamond Bar. And I just got together with my buddy, and I said, hey, well, we want to, let's have our own flyer party. Let's get all the hot chicks from the Diamond Bar High School. So we would go to Diamond Bar High School and just print. We print with our computer printer some flyers for the party, and like free for girls, guys, $5, whatever. And we would pass them out, and we'd put a sexy picture like of a sexy girl and all that, and pass them out. And I started getting into that. But I used to sell video games too, and I used to sell DVDs. Yeah, I used to do the Sega Dreamcast.
Orale.
So the Sega Dreamcast, you could put a chip, and there was like also a trick where the CD spun. You take it out, and then you put the copy, because that would bypass the. It
would save the data. Or?
Yeah, it would have a protection against copies.
Okay.
So there was like a disc that you could get, and you play that disc, you let it spin, then you take it out, and then you put the copy disc, and it would work. So it would bypass the fraud alert or whatever they call it to protect the games.
Yeah.
So I would sell a bunch of games in middle school, and I would sell one game for $10. Cool. We're already past the rule that's like, I think it's 7 years that they have to put.
So you're good.
In jail, so I'm good. Yeah. So I was a kid, right? I was selling the games for $10 each, or if they bought 10,
you're bootlegging
$60.
The games?
Yeah. So I would sell bootleg games, but I was always like trying to sell something to make money from middle school, elementary
school. Were you
school.
a good kid at school or?
No, I was a bad. I was in like, I had a 1.8 GPA, and I was always getting into trouble because I hated school.
Yeah.
So like I would get a bunch of tardies. I would tell my parents that I was sick when I wasn't. So I would have unlimited absences and tardies, and I would just do the thermometer, put it in the light bulb, and tell my mom my stomach hurts, I have diarrhea. Look, and I would fake the diarrhea, and just not to go to school because I hated school so much because I didn't speak English.
Did you graduate from high school?
They mailed me the diploma.
Okay.
Yeah, so I passed with the 1.8 GPA. But I couldn't walk on stage because I had so many use and cooperation and work habits. So they didn't allow me on stage, but they mailed me my diploma. But I was like a total like insecure kid. Like I could never get the hot girl. I always saw the hot girls, and I'm like, damn, I want to get that hot girl.
Yeah.
And the popular kids would get the hot girls, and now the popular kids, they're all like not doing well. They're all like broke, not in shape. Man. And me, the ugly kid, now I'm the stud that's driving the exotics, flying private, doing those kind of things. So me, I didn't like school. I hated it. And I remember one time I told my parents, because I tried college for like a year. And one time I just told my parents, hey, like, Mom, Dad, I decided to quit college. Like, I don't want to do college anymore. It's not for me. I'm going to get into real estate. I'm gonna get my real estate license, and I'm gonna do that. And then my parents were like, "What? Okay, well, we're not gonna be able to help you anymore. Then you're gonna have to go figure it out on your own."
On your own.
So long story short, I got my real estate license, and I started doing mortgages 21 years ago. And from there on, my first month, I made 16 grand selling mortgages. And I was like, it was my start. And from there on, I just started getting into business. But that was my start to business.
That's badass, bro. Everything has its purpose, bro. Yeah, I tried real estate, bro. It's funny because
I hated real estate. That's why I got into mortgages.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about my past on that. That's pretty cool.
I could see you I would hire you as a realtor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll sell you your own pens, bro. I have before.
You're good in sales. You would kill it in real estate.
Yeah, you know what? Look, man, what happened was that I started doing flyer parties at the age of 14.
Yeah.
Right? I started young, man. It was and I'm gonna tell you where it happened. So I was gonna come out in a quinceañera. I was always a chambelán de honor, bro. I don't know why. I came out in so many quinceañeras. Like it was like a thing. Like I guess I was like the guy.
They probably knew you were gonna be rich.
No, because I was a good dancer, bro. I had the moves. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I think it was the moves. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I was a good looking kid. And it was funny because that day there was this quinceañera. I really didn't know much. I didn't know her a lot.
Yeah.
And she said, hey, come over to the house so you could meet my brothers and parents and for the quinceañera. And I go, yeah, cool. So I was 14. I wasn't even 15 myself. Mm-hmm. And when I went over there, she said, my brothers are having a party, so come over. And I was like, okay, cool, a party, So I told my parents I was going to a party, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I got there, they didn't let me in. They said, hey, get out of here. You're too young. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm here to see so-and-so. And they were like, no, you can't come in. So it was a corner apartment. So it was like right in the corner. But so I started leaving. I said, well, fuck it, I'm leaving. There was no cell phones. There was no. So the thing is, if you were asked out, you got to go to your house and make that phone call back to the house, So sure enough, I went back home. No, I was going back home. And when I was walking away, she seen me from upstairs. She goes, hey, where are you going? And I was like, no, they didn't let me in. So she went and got me in. She told him at the door. And when I was walking in, I seen a big old wad of money, bro. Like the guy at the door had a fucking stack of money, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. And then I seen like there was a flyer party. There was girls that were having fun. There was a whole party going on. The next thing you know, I go over there and I'm like, dude, like I want to do this, right? So I asked for the number for the DJ and I went to my sister's house and I told her, hey, I need to borrow your yard. She was like, what do you mean you need to borrow my yard? I said, yeah, I'm gonna do a party. So I did a party. I did women in free before 9 and guys $5 all night. And sure enough, man, I had like 300-400 people, bro. But no one ever knew it was me doing them. Like nobody knew who it was because I was in junior high, but the kids that came to the party, they were all high school kids.
Yeah.
So I catered to all the high school, you know, and I kept going from there, and I kept growing and growing and growing. And gracias a Dios, I got to start doing bigger events and bigger raves, and people still never knew that it was me.
Yeah.
Then at the age of 18, I got into a different business of music. I became an assistant and a roadie and a manager and a promoter for another artist, de música mexicana.
Is that when that started?
That's when that started. That's what for Jesse Morales, el original de la Sierra, back in the days. He used to sing corridos. And
how much money did you have back then? When
nothing, bro. I didn't have shit.
You didn't have like $3,000 in the bank?
Nothing. I had nothing, bro. I used to go and work with them, and I would come back home and work a whole week and come back with $250. You know, and they would take a shitload of money. I remember
back then. Did you imagine yourself being here today?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I always knew. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. I always knew I was gonna do something in life. I just didn't know when, because I was getting older, and I was like, shit. Yeah. Like, I'm getting older, and I'm like not gonna do nothing, you know. And it was times where I was 30, 32, 33, 34, and I was like, yo, I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? And still living that day-to-day life. And I got into the cell phone business. I had to leave the job. I had to leave him because it was just too much for me. You know, it was like I needed to grow up.
Yeah.
You know? So at 23, maybe I think I left and I started working in the cell phone. So I was working at a cell phone company and shit like that. And one day this guy walks in there, and he's like, it was a black guy, a really funny dude, man. And he walks in and he's like, bro, I need to get 6 cell phones. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So then I was like, well, we have to put them under your credit. He goes, I got bad credit. And then I was like, okay. And back in the days, you needed to put a deposit to get a phone. So it was $1,000. So he was like, how much is each phone? I said, well, each phone's like $500, the ones he wanted. And I said, he's like, well, and what else? I said, you got to put a deposit of $1,000. So it's $1,500. He's like, okay, cool. I'll pay for it. I was like, all right. So he paid for it. And, you know, we became buddies, kept talking. And he was like, what do you do for, you know, what do you do? You just work here? I go, yeah. He goes, I own a real estate company. I said, real shit? He goes, yeah, come see me. You want to get into real estate? I'm like, yeah, I'll get into real estate. So I went over there, bro. And I sat there in a whole meeting, you know, your morning meetings.
Yeah.
And I sat there.
Have those every week.
Yeah. And they were talking about, you know, how many houses they sold and what they're going to sell and what this. And he brought me in because he goes, I need someone to teach me how to speak Spanish or to speak to my Spanish customers, because they were all black, you know, and they were like, dude, we have a lot of clients. So then I did. I helped them close 2 deals. I didn't make $1. I was like, where's my check? You know, and pretty much it was me, doing everything.
So you were the translator.
So I was a translator and made no money. So I was like, this is worse than me working with that other guy, you know, doing everything for him and still didn't make no money. So I went back to cell phones, you know, so I stayed there doing that.
Did you get your real estate license?
No, I didn't even try. No, I didn't even try it. I was like, nah, real estate's not for me, you know?
If you ever change your mind and you want to get back into real estate, I can help you out.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about it because, you know, I bought a lot of properties, man.
Yeah.
I've been blessed with that. And just in this last 3 years, like I've bought so many properties. And the other day I'm sitting there with my guy, Miguel, my partner in real estate.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, this is what you have worth of properties, and this is what you have of equity in the properties.
Yeah.
And I said, holy shit, are you serious? And he said, yeah. He goes, I know that you never ask. I go, well, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I just, if I like the property, I buy it.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky, man. You know, I would say about 80% of the properties I've bought have a huge increase in equity.
Yeah.
And those are just decisions from cities that I took, and I said, you know, here. And he would tell me like, bro, not there. Like, hell no, it's too expensive. I'm like, yo, trust me. So
are they all single family or some apartments or commercial?
I got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything. A little bit of single, a lot of duplexes.
You started buying properties like 3 years ago, more or less?
Yeah.
Is 3 years ago like when your income all of a sudden went from like here to here?
You know what? I'm going to tell you, I started seeing an increase in my income when I was like 37. Probably I'm 43 now.
Yeah.
So probably about 46, I'm 36, 37.
Yeah.
I started seeing us making money, right? Then it kept growing. And
at that point, when you're 37, that's how many years has the company been alive?
Oh man. Well,
because when you started, this is your main company, right?
Yeah.
And you started this company when?
We started the Rancho Humilde in 2008.
Okay.
January 2008.
In the recession.
Yeah. January 2008 was when we officially launched as a promoter company. Then we opened our record label, I think in 2011 or 2012. I think it was 2012. So we've been in business of the record label for 11 years. Wow, 11 years. And it feels like it was yesterday.
When you started in 2008, how does that look like? Are you broke? You file a corporation and it's just you and one assistant, or?
Well, when I left the singer and I went into the cell phone company. Yeah. Right after that, I opened the taco business.
Oh, you had a taco business?
Yeah. Soy taquero, bro. I'm a real taco guy. I'm a real street vendor.
You still have that?
I still own the truck, but not the business. Okay. I kept the truck. Yeah. I remodeled it and everything and refurbished the whole truck.
So your story is crazy because you tried like a lot of things.
Man, I want milusos, bro. I tried so many things, man. But music always brought me back. It was crazy because I've been in music since I was a kid because of my brother.
So you wanted to be a singer, right?
I wanted to be a singer. I always dreamed of being a singer. I was like, I want to be a singer. I want to be a singer. Then it just faded.
Did you always want to sing like
música mexicana?
Like what type?
Corridos, banda, norteño.
Not like pop.
Nah, hell no.
Not Luis Miguel.
No. I love Luis Miguel, but no, none of that.
Rancheras.
No, it wasn't my cup of tea, bro.
Yeah.
I was into rock en español. I was into house music, deep house, trance. I've been into every single music, bro. Yeah. I pick up sounds all the time. I'm listening a lot to African music right now. African music is badass, bro.
It's hot right now.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. But I've been kind of into it because it reminds me a little bit of music that I used to listen to back in the days, right? Yeah. A couple of friends that would make music. But at like age 24, around there, I would say that I opened my taco shop. Yeah. With the help of my dad. Yeah. My dad refinanced his house and gave me a loan. And it was scary, man, because he was like, my dad would only make a certain amount of money as a baker and I wasn't working. It was like I was making enough money to get by. Yeah. Right. But I wasn't making enough money. Right. And I don't know, man, I told my dad and my dad went for it. And he gave me a loan.
Was it easy to convince him?
No. Hell no. Because my dad was very, he didn't buy his house till way later in life. Yeah. And he bought it because of me, because he knew that I was gonna be there and help him. Yeah. I never stopped helping him. I always wanted to be there and do that, with him. And he bought his house. I kind of made him buy it. Like I went through the whole steps of like, they bought the house and we got lucky because when they ran my mom's name, my sister's name came up. And she had good credit and everything. Oh. And she already had a house, but the real estate agent didn't tell my mom because they have the same name, right? And they would use the same address. So the lady didn't tell my mom, but they used my sister's information and my dad's information to get a house. And then later when we find out, we refinanced it and put it under my dad's name.
What year was this?
Right? Oh man, this is shit.
06 or 05?
When did we move over there?
Was this when they had a easy financing, 80-20s?
03, 04 maybe?
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah. 03, 04?
Yeah.
I could say that?
Yeah.
Is when they did, they just did it. Yeah. And then we refinanced. Thank God the house is paid off already. Okay. The house is, gracias a Dios, I was able to pay it off for my parents.
So with this loan, the taco business, did it do well or?
Yes, we did good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you paid it off with that money? Or?
No, I paid it off later in life. But in the taco business, it was cool, bro. That was one of the best experiences of my life, man.
Really? Why?
Yeah, it was the people. Yeah. The workers. One of the workers, she's still my comadre. Yeah. Doña Mari, and it's like she's my comadre. I baptized her son. And
you were in there like making
I got cuts all over my hands. Look, I got cuts all over. That was a taquero, bro. Like I could still get on the grill, bro. Like, you know, I don't feel my hand as much, you know, because of the hot. You know, el callo nunca se fue, you know? So it's like I have really hard hands because of the taco business. You know, you're in heat all day and heat and cold. So cutting onion all day in the morning. So that's a 24-hour business too, man. Yeah. You know, because it's food. So you got to make sure your food doesn't go bad. You got to make sure you have the right foods. You know, the tacos is very, if you go to a good taco shop, it's the cleanest one because everything is reused daily. I mean, it's not reused daily. It's all new food. Mm-hmm. So it's probably the cleanest. If you want to eat, anybody out there want to eat good, eat tacos from the street. Honestly, man, because anywhere, right? I mean, be careful where you go, but it's the cleanest.
You still go and eat tacos on the street?
I eat street food every day, bro. I'm a street food guy. I'm a vendor guy. Yeah. I'm about that life. You know, I rarely go to expensive restaurants. I rarely go to...
Why not?
For what? I mean, I'm not going to go spend $300-$400 on a fucking plate. I mean, don't get me wrong. I go to Vegas. I go to Carbone. You know what I'm saying? I go to Miami. I go to special restaurants just to have that meal. But the majority of the time, I look for that mom and pop. You know, I look for that mom and pop shop. Like I want to eat real food. Yeah. And, you know, I like going in a restaurant, hanging out, whatever, having some wine with a couple bougie ass friends, Lester. You know, he's a really bougie ass food. I honestly, man, I'm not the guy that you'll catch at an expensive restaurant or at that type of deal, you know?
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm that guy you would catch at the taco shop.
So like talking about your place here, like your headquarters, I know you told me that you guys have outgrown it, so you're looking for a new place pretty soon. But before that, in 2008, so in 2008 you start in your company, right? And then in 13 or 12 you start your record label. So like, what did you work 3 years with your company, save some money, and then you did the record label? Or
what happened was that we started building artists because we liked them. Yeah. Right. And the reason why we started our record label was because a lot of record labels would come and sign these artists. So let's say we were doing flyer parties. Yeah. So later in life, after my taco business, I'm in one of my taco places because I had two. Yeah. And I meet a guy named JB. And he wanted to meet me because I worked with an artist that he liked, which was El Original de la Sierra. Yeah. So a mutual friend named Victor, he introduced us. And when I meet JB, he tells me, "What's up, bro?" We start talking and we end up having the same freaking birthday, bro. I've never met somebody with the same birthday. I'm from July 21st. So we're there talking and he's like,
it's coming up.
It's coming up. So you're invited to the party, bro.
Yeah,
yeah. We have a big ass party coming. So we end up, I had 2 horses. That's why our logo has 2 horses. There's a story behind it. Yeah. I got paid a bill that someone owed me with 2 horses. And I don't know why, but 2 horses ended up at my house and I got to take care of these horses. And I love horses, by the way. I always did all my life. And I've been riding horses all my life. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do with 2 horses? I could barely take care of myself. Yeah. So I'm maintaining 2 horses. Ya llevo como unos 3-4 months. And then I meet JB. And he's like, bro, we have so many things in common. We kicked off. And I said, you like horses? He's like, fuck, bro, I love horses. Oh, no, miento, because he said, I had something to do the next day or the day after. And then I go, man, but I can't because I got to go feed my horses. He goes, horses? So yeah, I got 2 horses. No shit. I love horses too, whatever. So he ends up coming over and he worked in the cable business. He was a cable installer. Then we go horseback riding and I see he loves the horse. And I'm like, hey, you want to buy it? You know, I don't need 2 horses. You want to buy a horse? So he's like, shit, I don't have no money, but I want it. So we ended up trading a horse for a laptop. Yeah. So he gave me a laptop and I got he got the horse and I got the laptop. Right. And we became really good friends and we became best friends. Excuse me. Then we get kicked out from the horse stables because we were crazy. We were loud. We were always fucking around, you know? Yeah. And so we're like, dude, we have nowhere to go. Where the hell are we going to go with 2 horses? So we end up finding a yard, bro, in Compton. We were always in Compton. Compton is only agriculture, unincorporated area left in in the county and city of Los Angeles, right? So we end up in Compton at a yard that we rented from somebody for a couple $100. And we tell JB, hey, I tell him, dude, let's do a what do you call it? A housewarming party, right? So we end up doing a housewarming party, and we have 500 people that showed up from just friends, mine and his friends and family. And they all show up. So I used to let's do a flyer party. You know, I'm already 30 something in life, you know. I'm like, dude, let's do a flyer party. And no, I think I was like 27, 28 years old around when that happened. So we ended up doing a flyer party, bro. And we did the same thing, you know, girls in free all night.
Yeah.
I still have the flyer party. The flyer, I'll show it to you. I did it on my computer on PowerPoint. Yeah, we printed it out, got it out to everybody. We get 2,000 people.
2,000 people?
2,000 people, bro. And so we're like, shit, let's do another one, you know? So we did another one.
You've always been a good promoter.
Yeah. I've always been a good promoter. I give myself that.
Yeah.
I'm a good promoter. I have a good ear for music. I don't know why, but I do. And we end up doing this flyer party, bro, and it starts kicking off. And then next thing you know, we create a movement.
Yeah.
You know, Mexican music. So all these pochos, all these Chicanos, everybody that didn't really listen to Mexican music started listening to Mexican music. So there was no artist that we were able to like promote. So we started whatever artist we liked, we promoted that artist, you know, and they started getting into the movement. Then a few years later, all the artists that we were liking and that we would have at flyer parties would grow to be bigger artists, and we weren't able to work with them no more. So we said, fuck that, bro. Let's just create our own shit. So we started our own record label.
That was genius.
Yeah. So that's when we started Rancho Humilde Records. And we continued from there. And thank God we're here where we are today because of that.
So you said when you were around 37, that's when you started making like more money. Like how much more money are we talking about when you're 37, like more or less? Like how much are you making, like $1 million?
I think I hit my million in 37, 38.
Yeah.
I think I was like, oh shit, I made $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, like it was, it's been hard for me to hang on to money.
Yeah.
I love investing money. So I invest a lot of money. We spend, to this day, we spend hundreds of millions of dollars on believing in an artist, and we've lost that money. And we feel that we probably gained it.
So you invested a lot of money back into your company?
Yeah, we still do to this day. I mean, I look at the bills every day and I'm like, shit, like it keeps getting bigger and bigger, you know, but our profit.
But your revenue keeps going bigger and bigger too.
Yeah, the revenue keeps growing as well. But I mean, look, if you don't bet on yourself, then, you know, then what the hell are you doing?
Have you always been a big risk taker?
Yeah. I don't think about it. If I want it, I'm gonna do it. If I don't. How are the risks you take now versus when you started though? Bigger. Shit, they get.
But I'm sure now you have more experience and you make better risks. What do you say, or do you still?
Yeah, I still.
You still think very big.
Look, man, taking the risk got us here, right?
Yeah.
I just invested in something else, and the company grew like 100%, and in the last 2 years, right? And it's a completely private business that I have. I can't not give any information that I'm behind.
So that helped the company grow, or that's a separate business? That's
a whole separate business.
Okay.
And it grew 100% in the last 2 years. And I invested, some good money and got really good big money off of it. And now I'm in the process of selling that business.
Yeah.
And the profit margin has been extremely well.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you get those ideas to start a business that's going to work and grow 100% in 2 years? Is it somebody?
I got to feel it. I mean, look, I get a lot of different opportunities brought to my table every day.
Yeah.
And I get into a lot of them. I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes it's just hard to help the other person.
Yeah.
Y me ha tocado where a guy will tell me, hey, I got a jacket business, invest in it.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it's like, yeah, I'll invest in it. And then later on, I don't see him no more, and I don't go back looking for him, bro. I'm like, whatever. Hopefully it helps their family and, it helps them grow and become bigger and better. And look, man, I tell everybody this. If I win or lose anything now, they're not going to take anything from me. God has blessed me with too much, bro. You know, God's given me more than I ever even imagined in my life. So I can't complain on anything. So if I lose money or I gain more money, that's just a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, to me, losing is just a learning experience. I don't ever lose and lose. I lose and gain because I gained that experience of losing.
Yeah.
Right. And why I lost. And I take that and I encourage myself not to commit the same mistake and lose again.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm a winner, bro. I'm into winning and I love being a winner. But being a winner also makes me who I am today. It makes me be a positive person. It makes me be, I wanted to rub onto everybody that comes around me, right? Have that winner positive mentality. Because if you come in here, if you come to me and you put a business on the table and say, we might lose if we do this, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Right? If you come in here and you tell me we're going to win doing this, then we're winning, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. Because that's the mentality we all want.
Why do you think God has been so big on you? And what are you big on going to church every Sunday? When did you start believing a lot in God, and why do you think God has taken care of you? Because I'll give you an example. When like not too long ago, like a year ago, 2 years ago, they broke into my house, 4 robbers with guns, and my dad was going to stay that night in the house. So if he would have, something could have happened to him because they knew I wasn't around. And then about a year ago, they assaulted me again, both times to steal watches. So a year ago, outside of my office, 2 robbers, they studied me. And I think it was an in-house job. Somebody inside the company that probably set me up. You gotta be careful. And I had a gun here, and they couldn't even take the watch off. I took it off. I gave it to them, and they didn't shoot me. So I know that God was watching me.
Of course.
So it's impossible not to realize that. So I feel like God has put me in here because He's holding me. Like I have big responsibility to help a lot of people. And I don't know, like what is your how do you think and feel about God? When did it start, and why do you think God has been a big part of your life?
I just know God. I know God does this thing, and He knows who He gives it to, and He knows well that I'm not going to keep it all to myself, right? He knows that, and because He created me, you know, He created me, and He knows what He's doing. You know, it's like I respect Him, I love Him, and He's in my heart, bro. He's everything that I do, everything that I move, everything that whatever it takes. I know it's Him.
Yeah.
And to me, look, I've helped vendors, street vendors. I've helped people. I've helped farmers. I've helped friends, family, definitely. Like my family is everything to me. Brothers and sisters, nephews, nieces, I don't care who it is. My family is my family, bro. And whatever they need, they got it.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like I make sure they're good. I always make sure. I wake up every day and I make sure they're good.
Yeah.
Because it's important. I can't be the only one good. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to be good and my family's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Right? Or I don't eat by myself. You know, where one eats, we all eat. You know? And I believe in that. If I share a table with you, we're all going to eat on that table. If there's a room right here and they bring me one meal, I'm not going to eat, bro. And we're going to share that meal. I don't care if we get a bite each, but that's what's going to happen. I don't eat by myself.
Yeah.
No se come solo, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and in this business and in life, you know, I've been around a lot of people that do eat by themselves and only think about them.
Yeah.
And I respect them. I just don't come around them.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not like that. You know, I don't hang around with stingy people. I've taken off my clothes from my back to give to somebody.
Yeah.
My shoes. A kid told me one time, hey, man, I always dreamed of having some Jordans. And I looked at his shoes and I slipped my Jordans right off and gave them to him. And those were $1,800 Jordans.
Yeah.
And he said, bro, I'm not asking you for your shoes. I said, I'm not telling you. If you asking me, I'm giving them to you, you know? So I gave them to him. And then he was like, well, what do I do with my shoes? I said, I ain't putting them on. So I'm walking barefoot, bro. I hopped back in my car and I left. But I mean, did I lose? No. Yeah. Maybe that inspired him to do more.
I feel like karma, you know? I believe in karma. Do you?
Yeah, of course.
What you do, you get back?
Of course. Yeah. I believe in it. Karma's a motherfucker. Yeah. You know? And I always believe in doing good, man. I promised God, our partner, me and my partners, we did, and we promised each other as well that we're always going to help the community. Mm-hmm. We're always going to give back no matter what. Yesterday, I had a really good, important meeting yesterday. I met with the mayor, with Karen Bass. She invited me to her house. We sat down, just my partner, Rocky, one of her, I don't know what it was at work or what it was for her, and another friend of mine. And we sat down on the couch at the Getty house. Bro, it was crazy. It was bad. It was amazing. And we're sitting there talking about life. We're not talking about what are we going to do? What are we going to experience? Or we're talking about life, bro. You know, we meet each other, you know, and it's incredible how I never believed in voting for her, right?
Yeah.
I'm into politics. I love politics.
Yeah.
I don't vote for a lot of people, but I'm into politics. I love that politician life. And I told her, I said, I wasn't into you. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know anything about you. I said, and my nieces put me on to you. You know, they told me about you. And then I met with Caruso and kind of seen that there was no purpose in him, you know, coming over here. I think it was more of I didn't believe in him as what he was trying to do, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was trying to do better. I don't know, whatever. But Karen Bass, where she comes from, her ex-husband was Chicano. You know, her stepkids are Mexican.
Right.
You know, her personal life that I don't want to talk about, but that we got to share with each other, and the love that she has for the Chicano culture, and how much she knows about the Chicano culture, and how much she knows about Chicano old activists that I knew of and that I didn't know of.
Yeah.
And she put me on game on a lot of them because she was an activist herself. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that. So now it made me respect her more as a person than only the mayor of LA. But I did wanted her to promise me that she's going to look out for our people. And she said, you're going to help me do that. And I was like, all right, cool, bet. So I told her it's not only about housing. It's not only about, you know, I think they brought up a real good point, mental illness, you know, us and our family and our households growing up in the neighborhoods and in the hood. There's a lot of mental illness going on and we don't address it. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of kids out there, a lot of homies of mine that are doing life in prison right now or are dead because of them thinking different than we did. Yeah. You know, and a lot of these kids in the neighborhoods do need that help. Yeah. They need that mentality help or that mental help. And we don't give it to them. Or we're sometimes afraid, or sometimes even the parents are afraid to say their kids are mentally ill, you know, and that's not cool. Yeah. You know, I think that's a huge awareness we need to bring up, because I think that has a lot to do with the homeless. You know, with the homelessness is going on right now in LA. Yeah. And bro, you know, we're both, I don't know if you're Mexican American. Yeah, I'm Mexican American. All right. Yo también. From DF. And trip out on this. Yesterday I learned that 44% of the homeless are Mexican American. Really? And to me that was sad, bro, because why is it a growth in our culture? Excuse me. In our culture, why wouldn't I rather see that there's a 44% growth in our culture being lawyers, doctors, or more entrepreneurs, right? Because I didn't have an entrepreneur Mexican American or Latino that I said I want to be like him. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. Who was that person that I still to this day admire? Puff Daddy, Master P, Russell Simmons. You know, people that were in the music industry, you know, Dr. Dre, that now I know and speak to, not on a daily, but, you know, whenever we need to. And bro, it's like, now we get to experience that. And I want kids to be like, I want to be like that dude, but I want to be an example. Yeah. I don't want to be a fuck up. Yeah. I don't want to teach them the bad, because we're all bad people and good people, bro. We all have both sides. Yeah. Right? There's some things we do bad. And there's most of the things that we try to do are good. Yeah. We hope, right? But let's teach our kids that. Let's teach the youth that. That's my goal, to open the way. You know, I went to Tony Robbins to see Tony Robbins a long time ago. And that's what got me into the events that I have. We're going on 8 years of the Driven event. So we have a big event in October, like 2,000 plus people. Nice. And then we have the business boot camp. That's the one that just happened. We have about 400 people that go to that one. That's more business. But the big one, like I want to be like the Mexican Tony Robbins. Of course. That inspires and teaches our Latino community. Like our audience, 80% are Latino Americans of everybody that goes to those events.
So that's like, I think me and you can help a lot of people like that.
I heard, I don't know how true it is, but I've heard it real estate, it's like 70% Mexican American that are involved in the real estate in LA.
Yeah.
That hold licenses.
It sounds right. Yeah.
And to me, it's like, that's a huge number. But why are we not the leaders of it? Mm-hmm. Right? Why are you, I don't want you to be Tony Robbins. I want you to be you.
Yeah.
I want you to be the man your way.
Yeah.
Right? Because somebody once taught me one thing.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I want to be like Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
And they say, you know what? You're better than Puff Daddy. And I said, fuck, no, I'm not. They say, yeah, you are, bro, because you're on your own mission. So you have to be better than Puff Daddy. Mm-hmm. Because if you admire, you got to overachieve him. Mm-hmm. And I think I've done a hell of a job, like going back. And I appreciate that consejo because it was from somebody that was very successful in life.
Yeah.
And when they told me that, it was like I took that in consideration.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? You're right. I'm going to be better than you. Right? And I don't want to be a Puff Daddy. I want to be a Jimmy Humilde.
Yeah.
Right? That's who I want to be.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, I want to be there for our audience and for our kids and for people to learn. And I go through your comments where I follow you. I really follow you. And it's been years. It's not something
it's crazy. I don't, it's crazy that 2018, you sent me a DM.
Yeah.
2018. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy. I know your time is very valuable. So before we wrap up, I have a few things that I don't want to miss. Your mother. I know that your mother is that you love her so much and you're very close to her. You bought her a house. What is your relationship with your mother? Like how often do you see her? Man, what does she mean to you?
I'm a bad son right now. She lives right next door to me, and I don't see her on a daily because she's always like going out and doing things. She's mad at me right now. She told me the other day, she's like, I'm mad at you. I was like, shit. So I've been really, really busy these last 6 months. And then, I turned it around on her real quick.
Yeah.
I said, but why did you have a son that works so much? And she said, cabron, and she started laughing. And then I told her, well, she goes, cabron, ya no vienes a verme, blah, blah, blah. Because they're used to me being around. Yeah. Like I take her out places. Shopping my mom loves to shop, let me tell you.
Yeah.
My mom is a shopper, bro. And my sister también, mendiga, she's always taking her out and, oh, can I get some shoes too? And they know I don't say no. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, one time I said no. And then I called them back and I said, okay, get whatever you want. So to my sisters, don't take advantage. But I love them. They got to look good.
Yeah.
And my mom loves to shop, bro.
Yeah.
And my mom, I love her to death. She's my everything, bro. She's my everyday. She inspires me. The way she is, bro, like she's so real. She's so fucking natural. And she's so fucking strong. She went and she had a triple bypass surgery, right? I almost lost my mom 2 years ago.
She's like a tough Mexican lady.
And New Year's Day, we're at the hospital. She's getting surgery, bro.
Yeah.
New Year's, December 31st of 2021, she's getting surgery. And the doctor calls me at serious shit, bro. Doctor calls me around while she's getting surgery. I think it was like 8:30 at night. Keep in mind, she was already in surgery for like 4 hours. And he tells me, well, I got some bad news, but a little bit of good news. And I knew her surgery is going to be a big risk because she was really bad. She was really, really bad. And we almost lost her, right? On the table at surgery. Mm-hmm. And she says, hey, the doctor goes, we weren't successful with the first bypass, but we found other veins that are also clogged up. Because one of her main arteries was 99.9% clogged, like it was done. So then he said, we're going to perform a huge surgery, but we're going to do something she's going to be okay for a few days. And then we're going to bring her back to surgery. And then I said, okay, but is she okay? I said, let's pray. I said, shit. So we get to praying, baby. And I'm at home.
Yeah.
And I said, fuck that. I grabbed in my car. I got my security, which is my blessing. They've been with me for a lot of years. I tell them, let's go. I'm going to drive me to the hospital. They didn't think about it twice. They spent the night with me. And all my family was at the hospital. Like I told them, I told everybody, I'm going to the hospital. So everybody goes to the hospital because I'm a big believer that the support needs to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and we get there to the hospital and the doctor comes out and it's like, okay, she's okay now. Bro, and I see my mom and she has like all these tubes down her throat. Like she gets out of surgery and like, she's like, and she's like, ¿a qué horas llegaste? I'm like, Mom, like chill, dude, you know, and she's like, I got to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, well, right now you chill, you know? And then a couple of days went by, then they re-performed the surgery. January 14th, they redid the surgery and it came out successful. And she's again there with tubes and trying to talk to me and all this shit. And I'm like, Mom, like bro, 2 days later, she's like talking and the doctor's like, how the fuck are you talking? Like you just, like you can't talk, like, you know, and she's like, I'm okay. Like, I'm good. But the crazy part is that they gave her, my mom is, what is she, 76, 77? They gave her a walker, right? Bro, she hated that walker. She was like, yo no voy a usar esa chingadera. And I'm like, Mom, you know, use it when you get tired, because she would get really tired and she would have to sit down. So, man, 6 months later, she goes into the checkup, right? And the doctors that performed the surgery there are asking her, hey, where's your walker? And my mom goes, no, dile que ya tira esa chingadera. It's on my sister. And she's like, oh, they don't need. They're like, are you serious? Like, we did a double bypass. We rarely perform it.
Yeah.
But we did a double bypass surgery on a lot of them. And everybody comes back with that walker. And she's like, I don't need it. You know, so, dude, she's so strong, bro. Like, you know, she's so strong and I love her to death. She's my everything, man. So, you know, if you have moms and dads, you know, take care of them, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, you know, a lot of people, they see their moms or dads like 2 times a year. I'm just making the number up. Yeah. And sometimes that's a lot. Sometimes once a year. You know, sometimes they don't live close or whatever. And you ask them, and you think about like, how long do I have my parents for?
Yeah.
How much longer? So like if your mom is, let's just say your mom is 76, you said 76. Let's say she lives till 80, right? That's 4 years. So you think I have her, if she lives till 80, I have her 4 more years. But if you only see her twice a year, then that means you're only going to see her 8 more times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And when you think about, I'm only going to see my mom 8 more times, you don't have her 4 years, you have her 8 more times. So like I'm also not the best son, I feel, or best father or husband, because sometimes I get caught up with work a lot. And I'm just like, I'm working. Like you mentioned, the last 6 months have been crazy for you. Is it because you've had so much work or what? Or
no, I did new changes. I did new changes. I bought her a new house. I've been fixing that. Then I just been doing other things, and she knows, you know, she knows that I've been doing a lot of other shit, and she knows what's going on, bro. She knows she's gonna watch this interview. And she watches it from the beginning to the end. Yeah. Every single interview, every single thing, every article.
My mom is the same. My mom's huge on Instagram.
Oh, bro.
On Facebook. She's probably watching us right now.
Yeah. No, my mom's not big on it, but my sister shows her everything. Yeah. So my sister wants to, and she'll tell me about it. Yeah. So hi, Mom. You know.
But it's crazy. Like my mom is 72. My dad's 73, 74, 73, 71. But they're old school, but it's incredible how much they are experts in Instagram, Facebook, and they know how to use all those apps.
Yeah, my friends' moms all the time. Jimmy, tú eres mi amigo en Facebook and blah blah. And one of my friends' moms, she's all into TikTok right now.
Oh yeah.
So she's like a huge TikToker. Yeah. And then I told her, ¿por qué no se hace TikTokera? No me dejan. Yo quiero salir allí y haciendo cosas, pero no me dejan. And I'm like, man, that's so cool. Yeah. But you know what? Look, it's a new era. I guess some of them are going to get it. Some of them are not. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of shit I don't get on social media, bro. Let me tell you. So I still need to get up on game on a lot of social media stuff. Yeah. But I'm very hands-on. on the direct social media, you know?
No, that's awesome, Jimmy. So one last thing. You mentioned something very important, because a lot of people see things on my social media, and like my mom, sometimes she'll hit me up, hey, take that post down. You shouldn't post that. You shouldn't say those things. And people see me on social media and they portray this person. And then if people talk shit about me or gossip about me, then they'll hear the gossip, and then they'll see my stuff on social media, and they'll get like a bad 3 seconds of a clip. And then then almost all of a sudden I'm evil. People are talking about me, and you have your persona on social media too. And how do you deal with people that gossip and say bad things about you? And how does it affect you, in good or bad? Because then people start saying like, oh, well, Jimmy is, I'm just making this up, by the way. Jimmy is a tranza, Jimmy owes me money, or Jimmy this, or Jimmy this. And then it starts spreading, and people start getting this image about you or me or anybody else watching this. But when you meet somebody like one-on-one, like me and you, like I had no idea how you were in person. It's the first time we meet in person. But like I said in the beginning, you are a very genuine, humble, nice, giving man, and you treat everybody with respect. Like you're an awesome person, like a good person.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
And I really mean that. But people, they'll see social media, they'll hear things in the news, and then the gossip starts, the drama, the gossip. How do you deal with that?
I don't care for it.
Yeah.
I learned to not give a shit about it. You know, I got two choices, right?
Yeah.
Pay attention to it or not pay attention to it.
Yeah.
What happens if I pay attention to it? I'm going to stress out because they're saying shit about me that's not true. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Or if I don't pay attention to it, just don't give a shit about it, you know? And I've learned to not pay attention to it. Honestly, I don't care for it. It doesn't bother me. They can say a million things. I think the people that are around me, my family, my friends, they know who I am and they know what I'm about. And that's what truly matters. Yeah. Because social media, it can turn on you in a second. Yeah. Right? It can make you good or evil. Mm-hmm. And if you pay attention to that, then it is what it is. I mean, I've gone on there and done such many good things. And then one guy goes on there and says, this guy owes me money. And I'm like, motherfucker, you owe me money. Like, what are you talking about? But then again, I don't pay attention to it. It doesn't, it rubs off me. Yeah. You know, it's where like that big saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Yeah. It's true. I've learned to live by it, you know, and chismes son chismes, y chismes es para gente chismosa. And I'm not a chismoso, bro, you know, and y ahorita the guys are worse than women, you know, no disrespect women, but you know, ahorita I think there's more women than there is men being men. Yeah. And I mean that because, you know, men act like women now, bro. Yeah. You know, they se les salen las uñas. You know, no disrespect to my gay community, because I have a lot of homies and guys and girls that are gay, but I respect everyone. And some men just come out to be different, and they say they're so man, and not to offend anyone, but they just act more of a woman. You know, I'm like, dude, like, you know, I've known people to say, dude, your wife has 10 times more balls than you do, bro. Yeah. You know, and that sucks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And any guy over there that asks his wife or a woman if he can buy a car, that's not cool. You know, I think if you're going to buy a car, or your wife is going to buy a car, I don't think you should be asking each other. I think there should be like, hey, I'm going to buy this car. Do you like it? And if she says no, I'm still going to buy the car, right? Yeah. And I think it should be the way around. If my girl tells me, yo, I'm going to buy a car, and I might say, oh, it's an ugly ass car. But if she doesn't buy the car, then she's showing me that she doesn't like the car. Yeah. Right? And that's the way I am. Like, if you're going to make a choice for your own action, then make it. Don't make it because everyone else is. So social media can turn on you and make you a bad person or a good person. Yeah. And the fame to a lot of people turn a lot of people around. Yeah. Look, I've lost best friends. I've lost really close business or personal best friends because of a little bit of power or a little bit of money, you know? And to me, that sucks. I'm not looking for more fame. If I get more fame, it's cool, bro. If I lose it, Good. I'm the same dude, man. Like I said, God gave me more than I ever thought.
Yeah.
So if we're going to sit there and pay attention to bullshit, it is what it is. But
because you can't control what other people think.
And I can't control people either.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not going to try it either, because I go on there in my comments. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I go on my comments and I answer people. I don't give a shit. If I don't have nothing to do, bro, if I'm, excuse me, but if I'm in the restroom taking a shit and I ain't got nothing to do, don't disrespect, but if I ain't got nothing to do, I'm on my phone, bro.
I think we all do that.
And I'm going to sit back and I'm going to talk shit to your ass. And some people is like, oh shit, you answered. Hey, bro, nice to meet you, blah, blah. And I'm like, shit. Like, really? And I get a kick out of it, bro. And it's nothing serious, man.
Yeah.
It's like social media. We're 100% based social media company. We make our business off of social media, right? We've never used the radio and TV to get where we're at today. Thank God. And the reason why was because we didn't have no other option but to take advantage and use of the social media since MySpace, right? We are the first Latino channel of music that was created on YouTube. Rancho Humilde was. Back since 2008, late 2007, early 2008. Was around when YouTube was starting. So we got into that. We created a lot of Facebook movement. We have invented a lot of different marketing ideas in music on fucking social media. And a lot of the stuff that we've created is cool. But then again, like going back to that answer, to that question, don't worry about it, bro. Shake it off man.
Whose idea was it to get into social media, and who's the marketing genius behind this? Was it your idea? We got to blow up with social media?
I met MySpace and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I used to go on a couple of blogs.
You know the founders of MySpace?
I haven't got a chance to meet them, but I know
one of the founders. I'm actually meeting with him tomorrow.
That's cool. Say what's up to him. Tell him thanks.
I will. Yeah.
Tell him thanks.
Yeah.
He's not the owner no more?
No, they sold.
Okay.
So it was Tom and Ted.
Oh, yeah. I know. Oh, you're going to meet with Ted?
Ted, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I me lo saludas, bro.
Yeah. But on the company really quick. So how did you learn how to have a record label? Like how to hire artists? How artists can work with you, the splits, how much you keep, how much they keep. Because I know some artists, they want to do it on their own and they think they could do it on their own. And then they don't do that well.
Yeah.
And like, why is it so important for an artist to work with the right record label?
Look, I've learned about the business since I was a young kid growing with
because you built a $1 billion business.
One of the things is this. When I got into the record label, we didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Like everybody, I think.
We didn't know shit. Yeah. So we went with the contract that already existed from a lawyer we met that did entertainment. And we used social media. My partner Rocky is a huge guy on social media. He's a computer geek. He's a programmer. So he knows a lot about, computers. And one of the things is that when he started Googling a lot of stuff and learning how to do certain contracts, and there was like a base royalty rate, right, that artists would get, and we would sign artists to those contracts. That's what we knew.
Yeah.
As we went growing in social media and the digital platforms and everything else, and the CDs got away, and now it was 100% social digital platforms. Excuse me. We learned that the rates were getting different.
Yeah.
Artists were understanding more things. We were learning more things. So at one point we decided to lift our royalty rate towards artists. And for many years in the music industry, the owners of the masters were the record labels or investors.
Yeah.
Never the artist. Artists would just get paid on a royalty rate. Right? So we decided about 4 years ago.
How much would they get paid back then? The artists?
A standard royalty rate was 10 to 15%. So if you made $1, you got 10 cents to 15 cents.
Or if 10,000, they would get paid 1,000. 10,000, they would keep 1,000.
Yeah. And as
who would keep the 9,000?
The record label.
The record label.
But then the record label, back then it was very expensive to maintain a record label.
Yeah, the expenses.
Yeah, it was huge. So I'm going to say a record label, after expenses, everything out of that $1, they would probably keep around 20 cents.
Okay.
Right? So there was a huge margin expense. Radio, TV, PRs. It was a huge way producing.
You reinvented that.
Yeah. Thank God we started. Our artists, got smart too. They started learning about the business. We came up with an idea to say, hey, open up your own record label. Yeah. Open up your own company. And we're going to do a JV, a joint venture together. And we reconstructed, we created our own contract.
Yeah.
Right? Me and the attorneys I used to have. And we restructured a lot of different contracts.
Yeah.
And we moved a lot of stuff around, not only so we would benefit, but the artists would also benefit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of companies out there struggling because they didn't know how to do that reconstruction of everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies still struggling to this day that don't know how to do that.
And I could attest that compensation plans can change the whole course of a business.
Of course. I mean, I want to see you do good.
Yeah.
And you and you want me to see you do good and you want to do good.
Yeah, because
right?
if they don't want to pay the company, then if the company doesn't keep money, how does the company keep growing?
Yeah. So I had to teach these artists, and how to run their company.
Yeah.
How to develop music, how to protect yourself from not losing your music. And also I had to teach them how to work.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just being an artist no more. Now you got to get to work. Now, if we spend $50,000, you got to spend $25,000 and I spend $25,000. Now we're business partners.
Yeah.
And a majority of artists don't save their money, honestly. A lot of artists are really quick to spend money, right? They don't know how to treat or how to make that money last on a long scale of longevity,
like
right?
a lot of athletes.
Yeah. Anybody in the entertainment, fast money is quick money.
Yeah.
Right? Fast money is money that goes right away. So we try to teach them like, hey, maintain your dollar, right? If you have $1, my thing that I've learned growing up, and maybe this would help a lot of people.
Yeah.
If I made $100, I only really made $50. I wouldn't even think about the other 50. Mm-hmm. And off of those $50, I would still take out $20 or $30 from that and invest it, to save it, to reinvest it. Mm-hmm. So in reality, off of $100, I really only made $20. You know what I'm saying? So
when did you start thinking this way?
I've always have.
Yeah.
I've always have. So
when you go buy like a car, because I know you have like around 80 cars.
Yeah.
You're a big car guy. So when you buy a car, you buy it with the 20%? Yeah.
I'm buying it with the 20%. And it's my 20% that I could do whatever the hell I want with it. And a lot of people.
Same thing with watches and things like
everything.
that.
Yeah. It's all with the 20%. And a lot of people, look, now don't get me wrong. Sometimes I need to dig into the pocket.
Yeah.
Right. And go into my 30% savings.
Yeah.
That it was investing, because a lot of the cars that I did buy were investments.
Yeah.
I bought cars for $6,000 and now are worth $40,000, $50,000.
Yeah.
Right. I bought cars for $40,000 that are now worth $200,000.
Yeah.
So it was an investment as well. So I'd rather spend my money than have my money at the bank.
So the real estate that you buy, that's with the 30%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 20% play money and 30% real estate money. Investments, or other investments.
Now, or other investments. Now, there comes sometimes where I do make, let's say I make $1,000, right?
Yeah.
Let's say I make 1,000. I might spend 80% on investment.
Yeah.
And put away 20%.
Yeah.
And I didn't make no money profit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, well, why would you do that? Or how do you do that? I say, I make that, but I'm not worried about that because I already have my other one. Mm-hmm. So you got to prepare yourself to make certain different decisions on future money, right? That doesn't mean you got to always do the same, but always know that you're going to be protected.
Is that kind of like the new business that you have? You invested like 80% into that, and then it 100% grew?
Yes. So I invested a lot.
That was a risky. What do you say was a risky move? Because it couldn't.
Super risky.
It could have not gotten the way you thought.
Yes, super risky. And now, you know, it's like I said, it 100 times grew. And now it's like, whoa. Even the partner of mine that brought that to the table, he said, I never in my life thought I was going to do that.
Yeah.
I said, well, hey, there we go. But, you know, going back to saving your money, look, I know all of us, there's a lot of people out there that never had money, right?
Yeah.
Just like me.
And like me, yeah.
Right? But I wanted to make money for the next 30, 40, 50 years, if not the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I wanted to still make money and I wanted my money to last.
Yeah.
And I figured if I don't learn how to do that now at a young age with the money I have now, then I'm never going to learn.
Yeah.
Right? So I would buy, you know, my friend told you, Jimmy would sell a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So I met a guy that would sell True Religion and 7 Jeans back in the days, right?
Yeah.
And he had
mine were the solos.
Okay, yeah. Solos were, you know, the swap meet.
Swap meet, yeah.
Yeah. But this was back in the days.
Yeah.
That was solos go way back.
Yeah.
But this is more like when I was like, you know, 24, 25, with my, you know, lunch truck money. Remember, I would put away 30% for investment.
Yeah.
Still at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
And 50% to invest back in the business.
Yeah.
Right? 30% of that, I started buying jeans, right? Because all my friends wore jeans. I knew a lot of friends that would wear True Religion and 7 back in the days, real estate agents, you know, cops and all kinds of different stuff. And even the hood.
Yeah, when they started in real estate, everybody wore 7 jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did is I invested because this guy had original jeans at a price that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So he had a hookup on getting them, and I ended up investing a lot. Yeah. I made a shitload of money from that. Yeah. But I put all that money away. Yeah. Right? I could have gone and bought me a lowrider because I didn't have a lowrider at that time. I could have gone and bought me a lowrider. I could have gone and bought me a Mercedes. Yeah. But no, I was comfortable with my Yukon. Yeah. And I was comfortable with me not having a lowrider, but I knew that if I kept doing what I was doing, I was going to be able to buy me a lowrider. Yeah. Right? And a different car. So cars and watches has been a big inspiration for me. Right?
Yeah. Some people don't get that. Yeah. Some people think that it's just to show off. And I know that I think, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for you, there's a bigger meaning to that. Of course. Because you grew up from nothing and you always, it was always like, man, you know what, one day, maybe one day you would see it on the videos and artists that were wearing them. And so that's, for me, that's the way I see it. It's like my little trophy. It's something that I'm proud of. I always wanted a Ferrari since I saw it the first time.
Of course. Yeah. And it's a blessing, bro, when you can be able to achieve that, because I'm going to send you a post that I put 2005, 2006, yeah. I can say 2007, around there. Yeah. I posted a case full of Rolex replicas. Mm-hmm. And I promised myself to convert, I think it was 24 watches. Yeah. And I promised myself to convert every single one of them watches for an original one. Yeah. And I did. Mm-hmm. And to me, that was an accomplishment. Yeah. Right? Then I told myself I would do other things. Yeah. So I always set goals. Yeah. I'm a goal guy. Yeah. I set daily goals to myself. Right? Right now I have a huge goal that I set for myself this year. And it's a really big goal that I've never set myself for a yearly goal. Yeah. It's my first time ever doing it. And you want to share it, or is it private? No, I'll let you know next time I see you. All right. Hopefully I'll see you in January. Or no, we have to wait till January. Okay. Because it's a yearly goal. And I promised myself something, and I said, I'm going to try to reach this goal, right? Yeah. And I bumped into a big problem earlier this year. Yeah. Maybe like in a couple months ago, maybe a month ago. And that goal got put on hold for like a week. And I was like, shit. And all that week or 2 weeks that I spent getting out of that hole to get my goal back on track put me in a whole different level and put my company in a whole different level. And like those 2 weeks and the last 3 months, my company has grown like 80%. And those 2 weeks. This one. This company. Yeah. And that was the 2 weeks of work that got me up to 80% growth in my company right now.
So just something that happened like that.
A downfall put me at 80% higher.
It forced you.
Forced me to do that.
Yeah. Sometimes people have to force themselves to bigger goals.
And my partner was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, we seen you nonstop, bro. Like, I'm a machine, dude. I love to work.
Yeah.
I'm active.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I've never met and I never had an assistant or somebody that works with me that can hang with me. I'm the first one to wake up and the last one to go to sleep on all my team. And I wake up the next day and they're all tired, yawning. Oh man, I'm tired. I had a really long day. And I look at them and I'll go, man, you guys suck. Come on, man, get up.
That's me and her.
Yeah.
Me and my wife. Yeah. Like we're like, we have a lot of events, parties, things, and we'll like we don't have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Let me tell you a quick story really quick. To wrap up a really quick story, because I want you to know this. When I was 6 years old, I used to go paint homes with my dad. So that's the first time, because my dad was a painter and he would always come back like with a white outfit and mark. So I thought I was a kid, 6 years old. I'm like, what the hell does my dad go and do? Like he comes back painted like with marks. Is he like fighting people and is it blood or what? What is it? So like, he took me, he paints homes. I went to the house. It's a mansion in Beverly Hills, Bel Air. And there's a red Ferrari. So I asked my dad, how come we don't have that, Dad? Mm-hmm. How can we live in the ghetto? You drive that white van. And he said, well, because it's not for us. So ever since then, I always like wanted the Ferrari, live in Bel Air. And from there on, like I was just always thinking that's what a Ferrari means to me. And that's why we ended up moving to Beverly Hills and Bel Air. And we like the privacy for our family and all of that. But it started as a painter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's crazy you say that. We might be a little different on that thought. And I'm going to tell you, which is not wrong. Mm-hmm. It's cool. But to me, I grew up a little different. My brothers worked in body shops all their lives.
Yeah.
Right. And one of my brothers had a body shop when I was a kid, all the way down from like 7 years old till even now. Now he works for me. But they always fixed Porsche. They always fixed Mercedes, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Rolls Royce. And my brother always had Rolex.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, it was like I was around that.
Yeah.
They weren't mine.
Yeah.
But I knew what it was to sit in a Rolls Royce, to sit in a Ferrari and a Lamborghini. But I wanted my own.
Yeah.
Right. And my brother would tell me, you could buy these when you get older, Yeah. If you work hard, you could buy whatever you want. And I said, all right, cool. So, thanks to that, for them letting me sit in it and wash them, because they would let me wash them. I love washing cars, bro.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love to have my shit clean.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I used to wash all their cars. And my prize after washing the cars, he would let me put on the Rolex at night. And I'll put on the Rolex.
At night?
Yeah, or in the daytime at the house only.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let me. And then one day, he let me take it. And little by little, he started letting me borrow it.
Yeah.
But I always knew it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
But I would buy a lot of fake Rolex because that's what I was able to afford, And my thing was, I never want to leave the hood, bro.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like, I hate Beverly Hills. I hate Bel Air.
Yeah.
I hate the hills.
Yeah.
I hate Hollywood Hills. I can't live there, bro. I feel so out of place.
Yeah.
You have no idea how many times buddies of mine are like, you should live here. It's Calabasas, blah, blah, blah. It's a $10 million home. You're going to live comfortable. And I'm like, bro, where I live, I can get up and I'll go get me some tacos.
Yeah.
I'll go get me a burger.
Yeah.
I'm an eater, bro. I love to eat.
Yeah.
And then plus, it's like, I can't be over there. I'm afraid to be over there, bro. I can't be around those people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel uncomfortable.
Well, it's safer here than over there now.
Well, it is.
They go rob they go to those places to rob.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah.
And I mean, growing up in the hood is like, I kind of know where they go. So why am I going to go to the? Why am I going to go to where I know it doesn't go down good?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. One time I thought about buying a house one time, and it was in a private community area, and it was cool. It was a good house, nice house.
Yeah.
But then I seen the neighbor and I waved and they didn't wave back.
Yeah.
And I told who I was with, I was like, come on, man, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then where I live now, when I want to go see my house, now I'll tell you a quick story before we leave about my house. Why I don't move out.
When did you start getting the security though? Like the full security that you have? When did you get that known where it's needed?
I think I started getting it probably like about 6 months to a year after I lived at my house.
Okay.
Because it was a lot of people already coming by to like, to like take pictures, and stuff like that. And a lot of people know where I live.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, you can't hide it.
Yeah.
I know where every celebrity lives. You know what I'm saying? Of course they're going to know where I live.
Yeah.
And I would see people and I got it not for the sake of me. I'm not worried that somebody's going to come.
For family?
Just for the family, and also so nobody will hurt themselves and the neighbors won't get bothered.
Yeah.
Right. But when I told Miguel that I wanted to buy a house, I said, yo, I need to buy a house. I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
I want to go see a house that was a 2 or 3 bedroom house. Like, now keep in mind, the house I came from was the back house to my mom's house. Mm-hmm. And it was a 1 bedroom house, very small. Probably this room is probably still 3 times bigger than that.
Yeah, I guess.
And you know, we slept in one bed. My kids slept in one bed with my wife, and I would sleep in one bed, and I would sleep on the couch, or sometimes we would all sleep together, right?
Yeah.
And to me I wanted my kid together, right?
Yeah.
And to me I wanted my daughter to have her own room.
Yeah.
I wanted her to have her own thing. So that motivated me a lot, you know? And once we got to a certain place that I could say, you know what, let me call Miguel, I think I'm ready. We want to go see about 20 houses, right? And there was this one house that we would always look at on the internet, you know, when we were browsing for a house on several, you know, real estate home pages for sale, whatever. And I would always tell her like, oh, look, this house is badass, you know? And there was always a dolphin that they had in the tub. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, that dolphin looks badass, you know? And it was like a dolphin, como arriba le salía agua, you know? Yeah. And I was like, wow, badass dolphin, right? So what was funny was that Miguel and I had a conversation. He was like, there's 2 other houses. Do you want me to schedule them for us to see them? And I go, yeah, schedule them. And he goes, what about that badass one you told me? You want to go see it? I was like, yeah, let's just go fucking see it. I want to see the dolphin in person, right? Like, I just want to see it.
Yeah.
So that was way out of my price range, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, for sure not buying it, right? Like, I can't afford it for shit. And we went to go see another house right before it. And we agreed on it. We said, all right, this is a house. Cool house, small house. And I mean, not that big. It was probably like a 1,800 square foot home, maybe 3,000 square foot lot. Mm-hmm. You know, okay property. And then Miguel goes, hey, remember that house? We got to go look at it. And I'm like, nah, bro, like we already decided. What are we going to go see it for? He's like, dude, I'm really good. Like, I don't want to tell the real estate agent that I'm not going no more. Like, I'm cool with her. And I'm going, fuck it, let's go. We'll just go in and out. That was the deal. We walked in, bro, and I seen it from outside, and I was like, oh shit, like this is a badass house. So then we walked in. It's a 5,000 square foot home. So I walk in and I'm like, shit, it's a beautiful house. And then they start telling us a story about the house and everything. So then she said, he doesn't accept offers for the house. He's declined the last 20 offers, right? There's been people coming here to want to buy it cash and he won't sell it. The house cost 1.4 at that time. And I said, dude, I don't know if I should buy it. Like, I can't afford it. The other house was like 600, 650, 7. Yeah. Somewhere around there, right? It was a huge fucking difference. And then she said, well, the only way he's finding a buyer is that they have to write a letter and send it to him. Why you want to buy this house? So she was like, you guys should write him a letter, see if you could buy the house. Yeah. And we're like, hell no. Like, nah, let's go. Let's get out of here. So then Miguel called me. He was like, what about that house? You like that house? I was like, man, that house is badass. He was like, bro, just send the letter. I told my wife, she's like, all right, fuck it, I'll write it. She wrote a letter. I still don't know exactly what she wrote in that letter, but she wrote a letter that She even cried. Like I seen her crying when she was like writing the letter. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, oh, this is weird. I was like, what are you doing? You're crying over a fucking house? Like, not even in your dreams. We're not getting that house. Yeah. She was like, well, you told me to write it. All right, cool, whatever. Finally, we get to the pad. I send the letter to Miguel. And Miguel calls me like 2 weeks later. It's like, yo, remember that letter? He accepted it. I was like, what? Like, fuck, bro, hell no. Like, I can't afford it, bro. Like, hell no. So I had just got into a new deal. I was about to close a new deal, like the biggest deal of my life. Yeah. That was about to close, right? I said, Miguel, look, I'm going to get money like in 2 months, but not to buy the house, but maybe a bigger down payment. And he was like, all right, let's do that. Let me see what I can do and let's see how we can get you in that house. So finally, we were already approved for like, I think it was like 780 or something like that. So I was like, shit, where am I going to get 1.4? So I came up with a little bigger. When was this? This was what? 2007? No. 2007, 2019, 2018. Going into 2019. When you DM me. Yeah, around that time. 2018 going into 2019 is when we bought that house. Because pandemic, I already lived there. And ya tenía como 8 months living there. So, yeah. It was early 2018 we moved in. Sorry, 2019. Man, sorry, my numbers are going crazy in my head. But
you had 2 months to
trip out on this shit, bro. Yeah. So the man accepted the letter. In my house, he built that house for his wife. His wife got cancer. She didn't get to enjoy the house. She died. Built the house just for her. The whole fucking house was pink. It was a pink fucking house, bro. Everything, the floors, the walls, the bathroom, the toilet, the sinks, todo pink. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with a pink house? Right? But it was a beautiful house. It was a very well-structured home, you know? Very well lot. So then we said, all right, cool. We ended up finding loans. He was going to do a carryover, right? And he was going to let me pay it in payments. And we got a personal loan. What is it? Private loan? What do you call it? The
private lender?
Yeah, private lender got some money from him. And
hard money loan?
Hard money loan. Yeah. He let me borrow an extra like $250,000. Yeah. And I came up with the rest. And we ended up buying the house. Yeah. Well, before we bought the house, trip out on this. When he accepted the offer, I was gonna have a carryover because I couldn't afford it no more. Like I couldn't get no more. It's like we needed that. We're getting ready to close the deal. And the real estate agent says, okay, he's just going to go into heart surgery. And by next week, he'll be ready to sign the papers. Cool. He dies, bro. He dies. He goes into heart surgery. He didn't make it. So I'm like, oh shit. So we're like already like 6-7 months trying to get this deal. And I'm like, all right, back on the market. Now got to go buy a house, right? And I'm back in the market trying to buy a house. And we're getting ready to go into another house, way smaller house. Forget about the hard money. Forget about everything else. Then we get a call. You're still interested in the house? Like, what the fuck? Like, so then now they're like, they don't want to do the carryover. My company grows a little bit more within those next 4 or 5 months. Yeah. And I was able to put a bigger down payment now. And we bought the house. And man, it was a struggle to get that house, but that house, I was like, shit, now I got to pay this house. Yeah. So that helped me a lot. También para trabajar más duro, you know? Because I put something in my hands that I know I couldn't afford. Yeah. But I overachieved it, you know? And I said, I have to be able to afford this house because my family, my kids love it. You know, I need to build a pool for my son and my daughter and I need to do all that stuff. So, you know, we did all that. And after that, I learned a lot about real estate. Yeah. You know, I learned a lot about the hard money and then the hard money, the viejito that let me borrow the money dies también. So I'm like, shit, the fuck is going on, you know? And I met his son and he's the old man, he was very popular, man. He was I forgot his name, but I'll tell you later. I'll ask Miguel to tell me. Yeah. But he was very known and he was very rich, man. He had a lot of money. Yeah. And he told me, I like you. I had no assets, bro. Yeah. Like I had nothing. And he let me borrow money, you know, and the house had no equity at that time, you know, and he goes, I like you. He goes, and your business is going to grow. I have faith in you.
It's crazy how much it's grown in the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a ride.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy, one last thing that I want you to share, and we'll wrap up. A story that you've never told anybody.
A story that I never told anybody.
Something about you that nobody knows. That way they could see it first in my channel.
A story about me that no one knows. The first thing I look at is feet. Look, that's a huge story, honestly, because hygiene.
Yeah.
Hygiene to me is very important. It doesn't matter how broke you are, how successful, how not.
Yeah.
Hygiene is a must.
Turns you off if they're
not that turns me on, but just kind of like I mention it to them, you know, it's like your nails don't have to be perfect. But you have to be clean.
Yeah.
That's why I call them viejas fodongas. Like, come on, you guys got to get active with it. You know, like, come on, like soap and water is not, I don't think that's pretty hard to find. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And on wrist, I look at what they're wearing. Yeah. It doesn't have to be the best watch.
Yeah.
But if you could take care of your watch, I trust you.
Yeah.
Because if you could take care of your watch, bro, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Good. No,
I guess. I don't know. So, I don't know if that works, but
I love it. Where can people follow you? What's your favorite place?
JimmyHumilde.rh on Instagram. And you can find me on TikTok también, Jimmy Humilde.
Yeah. And you're very active.
Yeah, I'm very active. I go on there a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, daily.
Awesome. Well, Jimmy, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, brother.
Nice meeting you, brother. Honestly, man. It's an honor.
An honor is mine.
Yeah. Dale.
Thank you.